the upper 80s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM, where we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us on this beautiful day. It is the Friday before the weekend. What are you planning over there? We want to know about it. Of course, you can follow us on social media. For those of you tuning in, we appreciate you as well. The reality is there's so many good things out there. The question is, what are you going to do that's going to be fun? And we got Jesse Sanchez over there. What are you going to do to have fun this weekend, Jesse?
Yes, good morning. I actually do have plans to have some fun this weekend. Considering Casey has something she already has planned on Saturday, so I'm by myself. So I recently just purchased a new video game, which I will probably be playing. So that'll be my weekend, at least for Saturday, at least.
Okay, I understand that. Which video game are you playing?
I just purchased a new game that was released called Elden Ring. Yeah, let's just say that game is not for regular casual players.
Okay.
Let's just say I died around 15 times within the first hour.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wait. Is it one of those where what's it called again? Elden what?
Elden Ring.
Okay. And is it one of those where you start over or you pick up where you last left off?
It's a game where, let's just say, you hold on to the experience you have, and if you die, you lose your experience. Okay?
Okay.
But you can get your experience back if you can retrace and find your dead body or whatever, wherever you died at.
Okay.
But if you die before you retrieve your experience, it's gone forever.
Got it.
It's not a very forgiving game. It can be at times, but it is very difficult. And yeah, there are times where I just want to Urgh. But it's fun. It's a beautiful game.
Okay, got it. Well, I'm looking at the beauty of the cover, or one of the covers, I guess, for Elden Ring, and I can tell that the graphics are pretty amazing. What console is this on?
This is on the PS4, PS5, and the Xbox Series, whatever it's called. So it's on those consoles, the PS4 and Xbox.
Is it a team matchup?
It has multiplayer capabilities and PvP and stuff like that, but it's mainly a one-player game.
Okay, got it. I'm just asking if you need friends on your device. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because I've been thinking about hooking up my Vive, my virtual reality, just to see what the whole metaverse is about. But I'm really unimpressed right now. I saw a video with one guy who did it for I want to say 3 or 4 days straight. But he did the headset no matter what. And he did the headset, which I actually, I do say it's better to have because it has a little feature when you hit it. It shows you what's around you so you don't bump into things. So you're in the VR, but you don't have to take off your headset. You just kind of touch it in a certain spot. At least that's what he did. And then it shows you what's around you in black and white. So it's good for awareness of where you are in the room, especially if you're walking around or moving around. You want to be in a safe, protected spot. I saw a little child who was doing, it was a pretty cool thing. It was hockey. And they had little devices the goalies have on your left and right, and blocking certain pucks from coming into the goal. And so I thought that was really neat because I thought, wow, what a way to train somebody. The graphics aren't there yet, but I came across it on Instagram and I thought, you know what, that's really smart. So let me see if I can pull up that information, because for those of you that like hockey or have VR sets, and as I've said, it's a good way to get around, if you have to stay home or if you have to kind of, shutter it in, because I know people are going to get sick in the days ahead. The numbers are already up. We're kind of looking at them. We're going, whoa, what's going on there? But it's a really cool device, and I just recommend it. So I can't find it just yet. As soon as I do, I will let you guys know. But hold on.
For the VR headset, are you able to watch movies on that?
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Actually, that's a good question. Hold on. Did I not? Oh, I'm so dumb. I did not save. Wait. Okay. So, what's the question though?
Are you able to watch movies on that headset?
Oh, yes.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and download what I love. I love this one because you can share it with your friends. By the way, so like, let's say you have a really good movie and you play your if it's hooked up to your like I want to say your desktop or your laptop, more of a desktop though, and you have a movie there and you want to like show me it, we would be in the big screen VR app, and that one you could share with anybody, and that one's really cool. Oh, here it is, Sense Arena. Okay, so this is the one that I recommend for people. Um, and check them out on Instagram. That's how I discovered them. And I thought, this is great for kids and for adults. I only have one recommendation for your knees and stuff. Put padding on. Get little knee pads. But other than that, because some people get really extreme when they do the stopping of the hockey sticks. And here, let me show you. Let's see. Window capture. Let me bring this up. But I like this because it gives you a sense of what next for VR, right? And here it is, Sense Arena. Follow them on Instagram, all right? It's the VR training tool. You can develop hockey sense and reach peak performance with virtual reality in just 20 minutes a day. Hashtag see it, stop it. Hashtag train your brain. And you'll see, I think that probably one of the best photos here is this one because it kind of gives you an idea, a scope uh, for this item. And I don't know about you, Jesse, but I see you as a hockey guy. I don't know why. I just feel you have that in you. And tell me what you think of that.
Okay, so they're bleeding like a. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, I would do something like this.
I know
So,
you would. I don't know why. I feel like you're like a Canadian, like so. I don't know why, but I feel this is just your sort of thing. And this is what he's doing. He looks dumb doing this if you don't know what he's doing, but he's very much in it. So don't make fun of him, okay? But this is what he's doing, and he's ready to go. Boom! He just blocked, the puck from coming in. But this is what I'm saying. You want to wear at least like knee pads just in case. But he's on the carpet, right? And I would put the carpet down like with some weights because I wouldn't want it to come out from underneath him because anything can and does happen when it comes to, but it's really cool. Or get your hockey stick attached to these items. I love this little kid. Look at this kid. I just think that it's so adorable. But he's learning at a very early age with it, and then he puts the controller in these, and so he learns as he goes, and you do so safely without being on ice. Some actually next level on the ice. VR, which again, expert level to do that. But it's good to train you ahead of time. Here's an example of one on ice with the VR device, and no one's obviously sending him the puck, but it goes to show it's very real in the moment. So they're trying to hit it on you, and you're doing it. Now, obviously, they have the opposite, where you can actually have the what do they call it? I don't want to call it pole, dummy. The stick, the hockey stick. But here's a kid who really set it up as he would just want like all the way, and it just makes sense. I think it makes sense for any sports, really, Jesse. I mean, baseball, any of the sports that you could think of. But hockey is. Oh, look, this is actually pretty good. Actually, these graphics do look good. He says, "What you see." Okay, so there it is. So they're hitting it on him. So it's like an immersive uh, scope. That's the best way to see it. But what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
no, I dig it. It's actually pretty interesting. I mean, I can. Yeah, I always wanted to play hockey, but I've never actually stepped on the ice. So maybe one day I'll go ice skating, and who knows, that might be a natural.
Yeah,
Probably not.
I think the ice skating part is the part that's hard, but if you just like dexterity and then like awareness and then you think like I've been to several hockey games, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, whoa, I'm highly impressed by those guys. Because there's a lot to it. And I think for kids and, families everywhere, if you had like one on the opposite side of the room and the other one on the opposite side of the room, I think it would be a pretty cool thing to actually like go head to head with one another. But they're still early in their infancy, but I say go follow them. I'm following them. And I think it's a great workout. It gets into my mind like what other things can you attach a remote to and then do for fun? I think of fishermen who have it, like if they had a stick that has like, the ability to kind of pull and then kind of, tug in comparison with the game. There's ways to do that. Baseball is already an option, right? But like the real field golf is another option. They already have games like that, but I think it's cool because it's inexpensive compared to all the things that you would need to buy to do it like really, next level. So I just think it's awesome. I think it's a good way to do it, and I'm all for it. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it when it comes to VR. Right, Jesse?
Oh no, no, I'm thinking of stuff like that too. Like I remember seeing like a haptic vest where you can feel the stuff inside the video game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, on closer thought and inspection of that, it would not be good for certain games, such as like Elden Ring when you die like 15 times. I really don't feel like feeling a sword stab or cut off my head or something like that. So, um, yeah, I don't know, but that is cool. It'd be pretty fun. I can't wait for this stuff. I mean, I want to be in the time where we can be like, what was it? That movie Ready Player One, where we can just jump in.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's where some of the stuff with the metaverse, I'm not really there just yet. I'm like, I saw the YouTuber and he did it, and he just was. It was like, all right. If anything, he did end up wanting to meet up with a friend that he met in the VR. But other than that, it was kind of like after the third day, he was like, all right, like it's called you need an experience, and the game level is not there yet to be as addicting in certain things. I think. I still want to try the one that I purchased, I think, last year, which is the Star Wars. I think you're in the Tie Fighters or something like that. But I waited for the Oculus because one of them you have to keep removing it. And it's very heavy, and then the Oculus, like I say, you touch it, which the Vive Cosmos Pro or whatever it's called, that one should have that as well. They had it and they took it away. I think it's dumb. I think they need to put that back because when you're in game and you have friends or family around you, or you just want to see where you are in the space, you want to be able to see what's around you on the optional outside cameras that they have, right? Kind of like a car when it has the roundabout, for the front bumper. You want to see before you hit the front bumper, right? So there you go. But I will say this: a Tesla suit, which I'm looking up right now, is something I want them to kind of come out with. I mean, we already have the Tesla. I don't know what's going on with this. I know it got an award in 2019, but I don't know why it's not here yet because it looks pretty cool. But that's what I would want to happen sooner than later. So the Tesla suit that's the cool one. Have you seen that one, Jesse?
I have not. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, let me show you because I think this is good. I know we don't have Joel today, but I still think it's good to show you guys. This is the Tesla suit. Check it out, and it looks amazing. We got to get them to get it so we can have better, funner games. All right, it's the advanced physical suit providing haptic feedback, and haptic just means that you could feel and sense everything that's happening in the game or the universe that you're a part of with your headset. Now, I think enough people know what the Oculus is and VR headsets, and it's got full 360-degree awareness, engaging muscle memory. It's an electrostimulation that improves the learning experience by increasing immersion. It's good for training in even combat situations. It's good for awareness of what to do when you go into a place. I mean, it's good for officers, right? is good for people just to get kind of experience. And it's a full bodysuit. I'm not gonna lie, I probably want to kind of like lose some weight because I'm not sure about that because it's very like tight fitting. You know what I mean? But you know,
Get out of my head. That's the exact same thing I was thinking. I'm like, oh my god, if I wear that, I'm gonna have to lose some lbs first.
yeah. But it enables interactive VR AR training content that adapts to the training for personalized experiences, measurement of baselines to understand improvement or degradation over time. I like the one where it has biometrics, so it includes data signals enabling advanced health and performance data analysis. So you can work out on this thing, and I think that would be pretty cool if it senses how you work out. I think it'd be good for martial arts. I think training in martial arts against a model of some sort that does or doesn't hit back, you know, I don't think doesn't hit back, but maybe just body or you could feel it, I think would be pretty cool. I would get it for that. It says integrated skeletal and 3D kinematic motion capture tracks human body interaction within the virtual training environment. So I'm ready for this thing to be a real thing. This looks like what you're talking about, Ready Player One, and that's what I'm all for. I feel there's a way to do it where you're not, well, I would take that back. There's certain games like Final Fantasy and like Matrix when it first came out, like if they adapted that, I could see people kind of never wanting to get off. But if you're fighting a virus or fighting the flu or fighting anything, that's probably the best fun since sliced bread. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's where it's at, but I could be wrong. But anyway. But there it is. Jesse's got some time with the game. I would say, and I would invite you out to go, let's go play Magic, because I haven't been playing as of late. I haven't been to the Magic store for like 3 months or so. But that's fun. If you guys want to come out, it's Odyssey Games in Pasadena, where they have all the gaming of game boards and just everything. It's actually been really, really popular as of the last few months. I've been looking at their Facebook page, and they just have everybody there. So if you want to come out, that's in Pasadena, Colorado. If you know where the Pasadena City College is at, it's right near there. So there you go. Let me know, and we can go have fun, because I know Jesse needs fun out there. All right, people, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At Youtheory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All Youtheory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try Youtheory Immune Plus Daily Wellness. 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. Youtheory.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, TruckWorks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, TruckWorks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at TruckWorks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Together We Are Strong is a product brand which stands for unity, equality, and protecting voting rights. Shop now at togetherwearestrong.com for t-shirts, hats, and coffee mugs. All voting rights profits are donated to Rock the Vote, an organization on a mission to empowering young voters. Become an activist without saying a word. Togetherwearestrong.com. Make a difference in America and the world. Shop online at togetherwearestrong.com. Give the gift that helps drive change. Go visit togetherwearestrong.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, and I'm checking out your comments over there on social media. Don't forget, feel free to share us as well. That's how we get more people tuning in as part of our breakfast club, and we love the fact that you guys do tune in regularly and you do spread the love, whether we know it or not. Sometimes we can monitor, sometimes we can't, as to who shares. Sometimes we give you a little thank you, and sometimes we just get a little busy with other things. But at the end of the day, we appreciate each and every one of you. So I'm doing it myself. I'm sharing it to my social media profiles. And by the way, if you have a page and or not, be careful there. I recently got locked out of my page, evidently, because Facebook's doing this protection thing, which isn't a bad thing. It's just a cumbersome thing. It's like, all right, fine. But it's better to have something than have nothing at all, because a lot of people are getting hacked in their accounts, and you never want that happening to yourself. I don't know, Jesse, if you've ever been hacked and you've been out of your, social media profile, but it really is like, wow. So if you have a page, a lot of pages have been hacked. I know Ricardo's page had been hacked from Garage Latino, and he did not get it back for, I want to say, a month and a half. And he got an attorney just to get back because nobody was answering at Facebook. They just don't answer because there's no good service. I don't know if it was due to them saying, oh, coronavirus and such. I'm like, how can you do virtual jobs? It's easy. You know what I mean? But there's no support there. That's why, in a little ways, I feel like if they ever had like a good support team, then I would trust them more, right? Like the bank. You don't want to put your money in the bank and not have somebody that you can speak to about your money if your money was lost all of a sudden, which evidently that happened to somebody. And so you got to be careful of hacking moments, right, Jesse? Speaking of which, what's going on around the world, Jesse? Are people hacking others and such?
Oh, yeah, I think everyone's hacking everyone nowadays, but oh my God. I am mentally preparing for some science news that we'll probably talk about in, January, 2 months from now.
Okay.
And oops, I forgot to put the long lever here. Have you heard about the Artemis 1 rocket?
I think briefly. I don't know enough about it.
So the Artemis 1 mission is the first mission in God knows how long that we will be going to the moon, actually.
Oh, I did see that again. Like, there's like a circle roundabout or something that's happening. I'm like, why are we going back to the moon? Are we concerned about the space junk that hit the moon or what? But I mean, I'm more excited about the John Webb thing. But all right, so what's going on here?
No, I really don't know. I don't even know why we're going back to the moon. And be like, what's there? Maybe the peace treaty between us and the moon men are over. I don't know.
Well, I know China wanted to go there, right?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, China wanted to go there, and I think they did. I think something got scrubbed recently. I know everybody's like, with the war and everything, people are going, well, what next? They have a cool graphic. It's nasa.gov specials Artemis, or specials, let's see, nasa.gov/specials/Artemis. And they got the Artemis plan as a 35 megabyte PDF. It will land the first woman and first person of color. They did not just say that. First person of color. That's so like... Oh, somebody other than white is what you're saying? Like, NASA, get it together. Using innovative technologies to explore more of the lunar surface than ever before. We will collaborate with commercial and international partners and establish the first long-term presence on the moon. Oh, I didn't see that coming. We will use what we learn on and around the moon to take the next giant leap, sending the first astronauts to Mars. So, do they want it like as a space station?
Ooh, that would be a cool, just like a way stop or something. Launch from there to. I mean, that would be pretty interesting. I didn't think they would actually be doing something like that. But I can tell you this: with the international team, I can tell you there probably won't be any Russians there.
Yeah, I know, right? I can see Russians being there, just not Russia there. Because Russians are very smart. And as you know, speaking of which, I did see an article yesterday, which was very interesting, and they had video of it, of Russians actually leaving Russia for the reason. They're actually protesting there, but they're getting locked up as they're protesting. And their lockup is not like our lockup. You don't get out the next day. You could get prison for like 15 years. Yeah, I'm not even joking about that. But back to this. Why we're going to the moon. We're going back to the moon for scientific discovery, economic benefits, inspiration for a new generation of explorers, the Artemis generation. Interesting. That's actually a cool name. I'm the Artemis generation, right? Instead of like, X or whatever. Actually, well, Generation X was cool if you X-Men. While maintaining American leadership in exploration, we will build a global alliance to explore deep space for the benefit of all. Then they have a video of why the moon. It's a cool graphic. Satellites and such. They say we will build an Artemis base camp on the surface. Oh, there it is. And the gateway in lunar orbit. Oh, that's big stuff then, Jesse.
Right? I didn't know it was that big. See, look, I'm bringing the science here. Okay.
You are. It says these elements will allow robots and astronauts to explore more and conduct more science than ever before. I think they saw the movie coming. They said, you know what, let's go to the moon before everybody else does. Let's control that. The Orion spacecraft, the Space Launch System rocket, exploration ground systems. Wow, there's the gateway that they're planning there. The human landing system, that sounds odd. The Artemis base camp, that looks like something ready to go bad in a day. Good for them. Oh, they got badges. Artemis badges. Okay, that's kind of cool. Artemis 1 looks cool. Artemis 2 to be designed by the crew. Artemis 3 and beyond. It looks fun. It looks exciting. I'm not going to lie. If I were a kid again, I would be like, you know what? I want to do this. I'm going to push play on this and see if it stops our video from doing this. But again, this is stuff. I'm not going to lie. I saw it and why are we going back to the moon? I didn't know there was so much thought into this, Jesse.
Honestly, me too. I didn't read the whole article, obviously, but I was just like, the main thing was just like, why are we going back to the moon? And then I was thinking, I'm like, the only way we would do that is if we were making like a little base or something, so we can go like back and forth.
Yeah,
obviously they are, so that's a good idea. I thought ahead, but this will be pretty cool. I'm quite interested in this. So,
well, I think look, it takes less to take off from the moon than it does here to the Earth, right? So if they kind of stop there and they kind of like revamp there, and then they take off from the moon to where they want to go, Mars or Venus or there's a whole lot of places they can go. I think we're at the point where space is now again awesome, right? And I think it's a good thing for the world to think in this way, because when you think about space, you think about the bigger picture. You don't think about the small picture of, hey, let's go take over territory of Ukraine, or let's take over territory of Africa, or let's take over territory of, Iran. Let's leave that at the door, and let's think about the big picture, right? Space and the outer frontier, right? That's the cool stuff, and that's the stuff that if kids could get excited about, that's what they should get excited about, right? I'm all for space. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't want to be in the first discovery of space, because there's so many things that I can't. I would wait another 30 years, so and then I would go into outer space. But this looks like something very, very interesting, very exciting for the generation that's exploring it, and I give them all the credit, because there's only one way to get to be, the Starship Enterprise. You know what I mean? I feel that's where we're going at some point. I've already kind of prepared my mom on that. Say, you know what, there's so much more out there to at least be aware of. It's good to say, hey, are we alone? I would venture to say no. Is there others that are waiting for us to get there? I would say yes. Like I say, even on certain reports of Navy and military, they've admitted, yeah, there's UFOs out there, right? It's no longer it's kind of more of an accepted thing rather than you're crazy for having seen one or said something about one. You know what I mean? It's more accepted now. But I say, when you think about even those that are very religious, they go, well, how can there be? I go, well, when you think about the founding of the earth here is actually old compared to the founding of other galaxies. And I think with the James Webb telescope, which is seeing so much more, we're going to see so many more discoveries, because then we can understand what these other planets are about. We can see them more up close and personal. You know what I mean? And some of them will look more Earth-like. And I think that right there kind of boggles the mind. You go, wow, there's water everywhere else, and is it possible for life to have lived there at some point, and or is it still there, right? So I think that's the thing that really kind of allows your mind to say, well, if there's a creator, obviously he would create more than just our own universe, right? There are universes to have been created, and maybe he didn't learn everything with their universe. He tried to learn with our universe. I don't know, right? There's so many different options that are out there when you say, hey, life is beyond the stars, right? And the fact that the James Webb sees a good portion well beyond the Hubble telescope, it sees beyond, I think, 3 galaxies beyond, if that makes sense, clearly. And then it sees the far distant ones, right? So there you go. But that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And I will say this. It's the right thing to be aware of, because we're all created at some point, and there is a marvelous design about them when you look at all of the universes together. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. I think my worst fear is us going into space, landing on a planet, looking at some type of animal, thinking that we're better than it, eating it, and finding out that it's super intelligent.
Oh, yeah, right. It communicates better than you do. Yeah, just in a different language. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my worst fear. And to be like, oh, humans, you just want to eat everything. I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, I tell people this, and I might be weird for saying this. Somebody's going to hold me to this probably, but I'll say this. When you think of the Bible, right, you think of angels, yeah? Angels are men-like people that have wings, yeah? That's already an alien. That's just a different dimension that they exist in. Right? Am I wrong about that?
No, that I come up with things like that. I say that all the time. People think I'm crazy, but I'm like, you never know. We're just trying to minimalize it to just put things in perspective in our tiny minds.
Yeah. So I mean, right there, that's if you believe in the Bible, you already believe in a alien presence, which is non-human like, which is in a different dimension of space. Which, when they go into that dimension, that's the invisible dimension that we know of. But in our dimension of reality, do we interact with them? Do we not? I know there's a lot of stories about that people don't talk about. But in essence, I feel, they're not just wanting to visit our Earth, they're wanting to visit all Earths. They just don't let us know that because we weren't ahead of it now. But I bet if you had a conversation with a good angel, never a bad angel, because those are the deceivers, you would say, by the way, do you know of any other planets that also are around? And they would say, you know what? We do. Because we're alien-esque, right? In the way that we would see them, right? So, I don't know. It's just a story I've been developing, and I think it's the right one. So, I think when we start thinking in that way, we go, all right, well, you know what? It's true. I mean, men of faith in whatever you believe, is always told a very interesting others. I mean, even Revelation talks about like one that has the body of an angel with like 4 or 8 wings, right? So they're all different. Oh, you didn't know that, Jesse?
No. I've read parts of the Bible, and I just no. I did not read that part. What is this part?
Yeah, some have 4 wings and some have 8 wings, and then some have wings with eyes on them, right? So that's already alien-esque.
I already know that. I know some of the my bad. Some of the angels, yeah, no, like the way the Bible describes angels, yeah, a lot of them aren't like what we think they are.
Yeah, exactly. And then one has the head of a bull, one has the head of an eagle, one has the head of a man, one has the head of, and some would say, well, that's just, symbolic of something. But I would say, I don't know. John saw a lot of things. He just had them written down. And I think it'd be interesting to say, are you like an alien? Why do you look like a bull? Right? That would be the question of the day. Anyway, all right, so there you go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Agree, disagree, whatever. Here's my thing, man. Outer space is where it's at. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your pharmacy and mobility solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
World-renowned psychologist, relationship expert, and best-selling author Dr. Carmen Hara hosts Live Now every Friday morning at 9 o'clock on Smart Talk Radio. Dr. Hara offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Experience your own positive transformation as Dr. Hara personally guides you to the answers that you have been seeking. Live Now with Dr. Carmen Hara every Friday morning at 9 o'clock Pacific Time on KMET Radio, podcast by SoundCloud.
Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit. Get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
Ruth didn't know she was leaving for good. She knew he would kill her. Could she save herself? Did she feel she was worth saving? How could she best protect her children? To love, honor, and betray, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her true tale. From submissive to survivor, then thriver. Now living a proud, purposeful life. As an optimistic, inspiring, peaceful warrior. Can a person heal from feeling the guilt of a decision altering many lives? Weighted by living grief, moving through lessons learned, self-discovery, and land in self-love? Can someone who's been abused in every way move to self-trust, confidence, and arrive at living in peace? To love, honor, and betray. A sincere, honest letter to herself and her adult children, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her story so that others may also find the inspiring, peaceful warrior within. Amazon worldwide, Barnes & Noble, RuthTunnicliffe.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, where we're enjoying each and every one of your comments there. And social media, let's go to them a little. Let's see. We've got Stephanie Reed, who is mentioning, and if you missed that part, yeah, you should really check it out. Again, it is on Instagram. Go follow them. It's all about hockey, and it's called Sense Arena. And as long as you have a VR device, all you have to do is order their stuff, and you could actually have your own hockey gym if you want. And I think it's really cool for the family, especially for the little ones, and get in shape if you are able to do so. She says, hockey is a good workout. I used to rollerblade and have a trophy for my rollerblade days and still can skate, and my feet can fit my rollerblades. So she's thinking about that, and yeah, that's really, really smart and good. Just don't do it with a VR device at the same time. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's see.
Why not?
Yeah, you want to see a crash and burn. I get it. Oh, boy, Jesse. But there you go. Let's see. Algenia Kirsten says, let's see. Good morning, friends. Awesome. I was just telling someone about this suit. Oh, she's talking about the one that we were talking about, the Tesla suit, right, which is the haptic suit, which is awesome. I can't wait for that to happen. She says, exercise and weightlifting to tune. Yeah. So there you go. Mark Blevins tuning in there. We appreciate you, Mark. Let's see. Okay. Mark says, Kremlin brought down by Anonymous yesterday. There's a thing. Yeah, I know. Who doesn't love a little Anonymous, right? Anonymous, I'm not going to lie. Anonymous, I always feel have their head in the right space, right? They always go after the guys you go, wait, what did we not know? And I could guarantee they're like, did you ever see the movie Hackers with Angelina Jolie? And I forgot the rest because she's the only one I remember. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, of course I've seen that movie.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. I that's what I feel. I feel they're a team of individuals going, you know what, we're going to set things right in the world of the internet space. Mark Blevin says, hashtag Moonbase Alpha. Says, it's too soon to go to Mars. More feasible to go to the moon. Yeah, exactly. And then says, it would be nice, though, to clean up Earth and solve all the ecological and other problems before going back into space. I will agree with you on that. But I will say this. When we all focus on Earth and star, we get along. Because there's a lot of stuff that can be applied on Earth. For example, and I've said this before, terraforming. Why do we not terraform the areas that need it on this Earth first, which is desert land, right? Why not terraform that to be more habitable rather than just cactus and other such things, right? Isn't that like a Mars area? Why don't we do that to prove that we could do it at all? Does that make sense?
Ooh, I kind of get where you're going at. Like, I always wonder, like, why can't they just do that to like something, say, the Sahara Desert or something like that?
Yeah.
But there's a reason why water doesn't stay still there or something like that. I can't remember why. I saw a documentary on it. They're explaining it, but I was too dumb to just like accept all the science about it. But it was really interesting.
Yeah, well, terraforming is also just plant life, right? Certain plant life living. And I know someone would say, well, cactus is plant life. I say, it's not. It's not hospitable plant life. You know what I mean? It's thorny for a reason. You know what I mean? So there's a look, when I went cross country to Texas recently, I saw a lot of land that I said, you know what? If they reinvested in this land would be pretty neat. You could have solar farms. You could have crops. There were certain areas in very like what you would think is in is it unhospitable or inhospitable? Inhospitable, or unhospitable? No, it's inhospitable. Inhospitable. There are certain areas that are not good for certain plant life. But I saw literally a strawberry field in an area where I thought, so I wonder how they cultivated that land to be able to be a strawberry field. And I thought, well, how cheap was the land that they bought to be able to get what it needed? And then you put like a bunch of boxable places there, which are those nice little containers that you ship out and then you kind of compact them, but they look very modern. You put a bunch of those in an area, boom, you have a development for yourself and your family. So there's things that I think that we can do ahead of time, but unfortunately we're just not fully thinking with our full mind. We're at war, we're killing each other, we're robbing other people. Not all of us, just some of us. And I say, let's get ahead of that. That way we could be here to live another day to be able to save the Earth. And, look, planets are already saved out there. And there are planets already being destroyed from other planets, crashing into other planets known as rogue planets. I discovered that yesterday after looking at a very interesting documentary. But I'm all about space because it says to the mind of anyone, either here or living, well, that's the same thing. Anyone living knows a fresh perspective is better than no perspective at all. Sometimes we're so in our own little perspective of our world. We live in a little bubble. Like those at least that venture out into space know, the Earth is not flat because they see it from afar, right? They're like, trust me, it's not flat. It's round. I saw it go round, right? And then when you go out there, you just kind of go, we're so tiny on this little ball. We need to take care of what we have because we have everything here, right? On the moon, there's nothing there, right? You'd have to put stuff there, is my point. But it's harsh. It's not meant for living there without a suit, right? If your suit gets punctured, you're going to die within minutes, right, Jesse? So there's so many things that can go wrong on the moon, whereas we all have it right here on planet Earth, which is why I say so much time in space still makes you wish you were back on the planet once you're in space. Probably a good minimum of 30 to 80 days. You can't wait to get on the floor, which is why I say watch Gravity with Sandra Bullock. because at the end of it, she just can't wait to be on the floor of the Earth. You know what I mean? It's that bad out in outer space. So especially when you have other humans here, and it just in my opinion, it's a perspective that we need to pay attention to. I understand people go, well, what about the money? But here's the thing: they have money. They just don't want to say they have money. You know what I mean? I think money is almost a misnomer in some ways. You know, it's kind of like with COVID. They're cutting the funding to COVID, right? But here we are on this Earth waiting to survive another day so we can maybe venture into the stars. Well, don't you want to invest in the people of this Earth to be able to make this Earth better than what it is at the present moment? Because, I mean, right now we got to worry about the Earth. You know, you've got volcanoes, about what are there now? 53 active volcanoes?
Oh, God. Well, 2 or too many, but yeah, there's too many. So
yeah, so our shift of the Earth's climate, cold, no longer hot like some were predicting, more like the day after tomorrow, like others are experiencing around the world, is happening because of all of the carbon emitting from these volcanoes. So our Earth is already hurting, right? Then asteroids are a thing. I think there's one predicted, a pretty big one, in 2029. I know everybody's been hearing about certain ones that barely miss us, but we've seen some scattered in the sky, and we have craters on this Earth that prove that there have been asteroids of before. So it's like, well, what do you do with that? So there's a lot of information that I say I'm glad we're out in the stars and in space and sending telescopes out there to see what projectiles are coming at this Earth, because at the end of the day, you got to protect ourselves, right? And I say the easiest way to get around that is just have a special shuttle mission, which actually just pushes the asteroid out of orbit to Earth, right? That's all you have to do. You don't blow it up, because then you get more rocks coming at us in a fashion, and now you create more havoc. What you do is you just nudge it out of the way. That's simple. It's that, you know, it's like a tugboat, but a space shuttle program. It's simple. I talked to one engineer about this. I said, could we do this? And he said, yeah, we could do this. And I said, yeah, see, so it's possible. You just got to think outside of the box of, let's not do the dumb thing. Like the guy that actually blew up, what was it? La Palma volcano by dropping a bomb into it, hoping that it would somehow stop it from erupting. Still erupting. Didn't work, buddy. So again, some scientists out there are dumb, and other ones are just like theoretical, and some are just like, can we just test it? I'm like, are you wanting to lose your life? If you can I put you on the Earth's surface right there so we can test it too? And there you go. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. But there's a lot of questions out there, and do we have the answers? We don't have all the answers, but I feel we need more answers than not. And we need to look to the stars to do it in a way, but be very mindful of the life we're living here on Earth. All right, if you could do that, then you open your mind to the possibilities. I feel I could be wrong. Jesse, what's going on in the world?
Well, apparently I just forgot about a movie that was released today called Lost City. Have you heard of it?
Ooh, wait, whoa.
Yes.
With my favorite ever?
I think you know what I'm talking about. Yes.
She's my favorite. I want to put dibs on her. If we ever meet her, I'm going to put dibs on her right now, Jesse. You already have a fiance. I'm currently single, ready to mingle. If Sandra Bullock comes on our show at any given time, can somebody make that happen? Because we want to interview this, right? I mean, I get Channing, but he had enough of Sandra. We need Sandra. Am I wrong about this?
No, you're not wrong, but yeah, you're right. The Lost City with Sandra Bullock is releasing today, actually. Is this on theater or is this on Netflix?
I think it is in the theater. Or both. I don't know.
I don't know because I don't have Netflix on my phone, so I want to see this in theater because it's Sandra Bullock, so right? That's what I would like to.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to see her with Channing. I want to see her with. I've always had a crush on her ever since I while you were sleeping. The moment I laid eyes on her, I said, "That's my woman." Then I got married. Not gonna lie, but she got married too. So we missed each other, and then we were supposed to meet twice, but I missed both of those stupid premieres. And she just showed up. She wasn't even scheduled to like attend, and I heard later that she showed up, and I left early. I'm like, darn it. Hate my life. But there she is in Lost City, which looks really fun. Again, Channing's always a fun guy. I want to see the movie that he's in with the dog. There's a dog movie that he's in, and it looks really good, by the way. I don't know if it's based on a true story, but it looks really good. But this looks fun. Brad Pitt's in it, obviously, and I want to see it, Jesse. So I'm glad you said it.
Right, I'm excited for this, and yeah, you know what? I can guarantee you that movie with the dog is probably gonna be sad.
Oh man, why'd you say that?
Like, what movie with a dog or an animal isn't sad near the end? Because everyone's a lesson.
I know. Casey Murdoch saying, "I have dibs and speed." Whatever. She's gonna have to fight you for it, I guarantee you. But it says the jungle isn't ready for this kind of action. It looks fun. It looks like something that she's gonna have fun in. Obviously, that she already did film, and I say, you know what, more power to her. And I was a little upset that I heard her say, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna go on record saying this. I do not like the guy she's with right now, and it's not just because I like her. I've seen things about him that I just don't agree on, and I think that's what I would say at the end of the interview. I would say, by the way, can you get rid of that guy? Because the guy doesn't even want kids. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. She has the 2 kids. She adopted these kids, and the fact that a guy wouldn't want kids and he's not even taking care of the kids, basically he's living off her wealth. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you watch that guy very closely, you'll agree with me. I guarantee it. Any guy will agree with me on this. Will be like, just leave the guy. He's a glorified photographer, and I guarantee you he cheats on you. Guaranteed. I knew that about the last guy, and I was right about him when that came out. Boy. So yeah, I think she needs to leave him.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently this is premiering on Paramount Plus.
Oh, good to know. I have Paramount Plus. All right, good to know. Well, that looks like fun then. All right. Well, there you go.
I'm gonna watch that this weekend. Shoot.
Yeah. Right. All right. So Sandra Bullock, get at it, and trust me on the guy, man. You need to get rid of that guy. Your kids will be happier once he's gone, guaranteed. So there you go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. But yeah, and a lot of people don't know that she has kids that she adopted. Did you know that, Jesse?
Yes, I did.
All right. I'm trying to get one up on you.
Here, well, let me see. How about this? Let me ask you a strange question.
Okay.
What is the national animal for Scotland?
The national animal for Scotland?
Yeah, you know how like ours is like the bull or the bald eagle or whatever? Like what is theirs?
For Scotland. Ooh, I don't know. I honestly don't. I think of something hairy.
I'm gonna let you Google it and then let everyone tell you the answer, because Casey did this to me, and I'm just I will never question her.
Is
again.
it like a peacock or something?
No.
Parakeet?
You got to Google it.
Is it a bird? Is it
No.
a plane? Is it
No.
a? No, I don't know. But I will say this, Jesse. Based on what you're saying, maybe it is this new discovery. This is a dinosaur that was recently discovered, and the skull is humongous. Paleontologists have unearthed the skull of a ferocious marine predator, an ancient ancestor of modern-day whales, which once lived in prehistoric oceans that covered part of what is now Peru. It's a 36 million year old, well-preserved skull dug up intact from the bone-dry rocks of Peru's southern desert with rows of long, pointy teeth. Now, if that doesn't scare you, Jesse, boy, oh boy, it's called the Basilosaurus, means king lizard. Although the animal is not a reptile, though its long body might have moved like a giant snake. So there you go. All right, we run out of time, Jesse. Thank you for making it a great day with us. We will see you next week. Bye-bye, everyone. All right, for the rest of you, yes, still here. Let's see. We still see some of you there. Let's see. We've got Casey Murdoch there. Good to see you, man. Been a while. Algini Kirsten says awesome possibilities. Let's see. We've got Mark Blevins tuning in as well. Thank you. And let's see. Some of you others as well. Stephanie again. Thank you. And also, I know somebody gave us some stars. We appreciate you as well. I'm trying to bring it up here. It's not very kind to me right now. But there you go. So Facebook's been kind of odd as of late. So if you get locked out, just remember, protect your page because they're asking for it. And it's a really quick, fast thing. It's a verification thing, which I think is two-factor verification, which is what you're going to want for your page. Because I guarantee you're not going to want to let it get hacked. You just don't want that, trust me. But there you go. But back to this story. I had a rush on it. I didn't realize we were out of time. I got a little too much on that information. But for those of you that love dinosaurs, this is a real discovery that just happened. And it actually measures 39 feet long by estimates. They say the one-time top predator, or about the height of a 4-story building. That is huge. That's huge. They said that the skull was a marine monster. It was already put on display at the University Museum. Belonged to a new species of Basilosaurus. They added, when it was searching for its food, it surely did a lot of damage. Yeah, right? Scientists believe the first cetaceans evolved from mammals that lived on land 55 million years ago, about 10 million years after an asteroid struck just off what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, wiping out most life on Earth, including the dinosaurs. They explained that when the ancient Basilosaurus died, its skull likely sunk to the bottom of the seafloor, where it was quickly buried and preserved. He said back during this age, the conditions for fossilization were very good in that part of the area. So this is in what is now Peru. The skull of a ferocious marine predator, an ancient ancestor of modern-day whales, which once lived in the prehistoric ocean that covered part of what is now Peru. So, pretty interesting when you see a skull of this nature. It's just massive, right? And that's just the head, man. So it looks almost like a fun animal, although I wouldn't want to be in its teeth. But imagine how big that is. Talk about boggling the mind, right? When we think we're alone on this earth, and I say, yeah, right. So there you go. I didn't get the Scottish thing, but I have a feeling Casey would know that because Casey has the roots there. Part Scottish, right? I remember that. I could be wrong. Probably. There's a lot of more stuff there, right? But let's see. Scottish. Okay, Scottish. Because I know I'm not. It's the terrier? Okay, I just looked up something. I don't know if it's right. What do you say? The Scottish? Yeah, I'm not. Like national animal, right? Yeah, okay. Scottish national animal is the unicorn? Oh, I would have never gotten that. You're kidding me. Well, there you go. You know, some feel the unicorn really did exist at some point. Look, man, the platypus did, right? I'm just waiting to see a fossil it actually did. But there you go. So, yep, there it is. All right. So now we know. There you go. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Scotland. Actually, let me go ahead and bring that up. Might as well. And there you go. For those, visit Scotland. And, whoops, accept all cookies. And there you go. Yeah, I guess it's a unicorn. Why is the unicorn Scotland's national animal? In Celtic mythology, the unicorn was a symbol of purity and innocence, as well as masculinity and power. Tales of dominance and chivalry associated with the unicorn may be why it was chosen as Scotland's national animal. The unicorn in the history of Scotland, with Scotland being famed for its love of a long history of myths and legends, it's no surprise a fabled creature such as the unicorn is the national animal. Unicorns have been linked to Scotland for centuries. While the animal is mythological, the ideal it represents are what makes it a perfect fit as the national animal for Scotland. Got it. All right. I would have thought terrier that came up too. But that makes sense. Where to see the unicorn in Scotland? They have a gate post at the Palace of Holyroodhouse, the official residence of Her Majesty the Queen in Scotland, and at the gatehouse of the Queen's Gallery by the Palace. You can also see in front of the National War Museum and St. Margaret's Chapel at Edinburgh Castle, a historic fortress which dominates the skyline of Edinburgh. The King's Fountain at Linlithgow Palace, once a magnificent Renaissance palace in the birthplace of Mary, Queen of Scots. Stone carving on the St. Andrews University building, Scotland's first university, founded in the 15th century. Well, that's interesting. But there you go. You can check out all the really cool stuff there. Kilts and tartan. I've been sent a kilt by a Scotland Angel. Angel sent a kilt over this way. Granted, it was thinner than I am, and I'd have to lose a lot of weight to get there. I'm not sure if I'm there yet, but there you go. So some pretty cool stuff. So there you go. What have we learned on this episode of The Morning Show? One, space exploration is a thing. And now I understand why they're going out into the moon space to be able to get that. So that's exciting. I think it, kind of goes, okay, well, what else can we do to stay alive to get there, right? That's my thing I'm on right now, because coronavirus is still here. And although some are feeling, hey, it's back to spring, it's back to summer, just remember in 2020 when we felt like that, right? When it was being taught, hey, we're going to have Easter, we're not going to have lockdown. Well, we're not having lockdown, that's for sure. But many are starting to estimate this time against 2020. And 2020 was at the very brink of coronavirus, when a lot of people would have never understood the reality. If somebody had said at the beginning of 2020, there's a potentiality of 1 million people here being dead in the U.S. due to coronavirus. If they said that, you probably wouldn't believe it. But we are literally at the $1 million level as of right now in the U.S. And for those of you that were kind of on the fence of whether it's real or whether it's not, if you've buried or you've said goodbye to somebody, or you haven't said goodbye but you found out somebody that you used to appreciate, as being a good friend, they're dead because of the virus, then you understand, whoa, it's very, very real. So here in the States, the current number, as far as we could tell, and I say that because I think they were going to stop numbering at some point. I'm like, why would you do that? I mean, that makes no sense for future generations of the world. But currently we are at, let's see, 996,000 deaths. Yeah, just shy of 1 million. So we're almost there. Now, granted, and I've always said this, recovered 56 million. So that's the good news, right? The question is, when you recover, how much are you left with after, right? I've seen several friends who actually had to be in the hospital because of this, and they're still having a hard time breathing. I had one that I saw at Best Buy. He said he lost his taste for almost a full 2 months. Thank God he got it back. So the numbers kind of speak for themselves over time. Again, it says coronavirus cases 81, and this is just in the U.S. This isn't around the world. Around the world numbers are really bad. All right, but as far as this stays, coronavirus cases 81 million, right? So let's see, about 1 million. So about, what's the math of that? The majority got, all right. I don't know why it says 56 million recovered. That doesn't add up to 81 million. I'm not sure about that number, but there you go. But this is the confirmed number around the world. 6 million have died from just coronavirus. Now remember, coronavirus, unlike other viruses that we say we live with, are actually, sorry, I'm looking at peaks around the world, and it's bad, people. But other viruses, let me put it this way. Other viruses actually have problems in the body, like diabetes, like other things, but they don't transmit easily, right? Even HIV doesn't transmit easily. You have to be, with fluids, right? So that's where coronavirus is a different ball game, because it's in the air. So if you have a friend that's sneezing up the wazoo and they happen to have it, you're more than likely going to get it pretty soon thereafter, right? So that's the problem that we have with coronavirus, right? But with the latest news has been very telling that, one, the new vaccines that are coming out, you're going to need to get them, because you don't have anything for The ones that we got in fall of 2021 are not capable to heal you from right? The ones coming out will at least help you with 1 and 2. Most likely, Pfizer is ahead of it. They're already asking government to say, hey, can you do this one as well? Whether government will or will not doesn't really, don't, how do I say this? We've been having the U.S. say, in essence, hey, we'll go ahead and reduce the cost of this by getting these ahead of time so that everybody gets them. As of right now, the administration is kind of in the flux of, we're focusing on war, we're not focusing on our own, which makes no sense. And we're not focusing on our own with coronavirus anymore. It's almost like they're one-dimensional in thinking, right? War now. Well, you still have the problem with coronavirus still here, people. So I feel in that way we need to kind of say to ourselves, hey, are we smart about it? So if you have to pay out of pocket for this one, because it'll help you against 1 and 2. Now, there's 3 and 4 already around the world, and that one's coming. But 1 and 2 actually has picked up on the East Coast, as it always does. I always say this. I saw a map as of yesterday on a graphic, and I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. That's very smart. And then it showed California and our states, or surrounding California, start to get up there. It wasn't bold red. It was like bold orange. Getting to red with 2. Now, they call that the stealth one, but what people don't know is it's also a lengthier one. Okay, so if you get in the hospital with 1, on average, you'll probably be in the hospital, provided you don't die, for a good like 20 some days, right? Maybe 20, 23, 24, 25, 26 days, right? With 2, you'll be in there for probably minimum about 30 days, all right? And that's bad, because that's... if you get well, that's called bills for days, right? Provided you have insurance, right? And then if you have no insurance, that's even worse, right? So negotiate with your hospitals. And then there's those that don't even have the money for that. So they say, if it's my time to die, it's my time to die. And I say, no, get through it. Because if you get through 1 and or 2, you'll be better for it. But hopefully you will survive, because there's going to be a lot of people not surviving. And that's the sad fact of what's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So the numbers are starting to come in, but they're coming in slow because people, when they get into the hospital, I'll give you an example. Alpha and beta, all right? When you stayed in the hospital past 20-some days, they already knew it wasn't a good thing for your body, all right? I have several friends that died within, I want to say 20 days. And the longer you're in, the worse it is for your body with alpha and beta, all right? Delta is a little bit different. That one was about 20 days, and if you stayed in past the 30th day, you pretty much were almost seen as you're going to have to live with this breathing situation for the next few years. People are still recovering from that. So if you know a friend, or if you're one of those, you'll understand what I mean when you say, or when I say, yeah, it's a thing that you have to survive. And your body's still trying to get strong from it. So there's breathing exercises that you could do. There's certain things that you could do to strengthen your respiratory system, because it attacks in a really bad way. And then they're not even accounting for pre-existing conditions. For example, I had the friend who died from already a pre-existing condition with kidneys, but it made the kidney situation worse. And she was only 28. All right. I keep saying that because it's like, okay, in a 58-year-old, you would expect that, but in a 28-year-old, you would not expect that. All right. And the coronavirus that actually hit her mainly was there may have been a little delta in that as well, but it was the portion that really did her kidneys in. So when she vomited blood, literally so, that should have been the first telltale sign of, hey, you need to go to the hospital right away. Whenever you spit up blood, that is a very bad sign. You need hospital care right away. There is no putting that on hold. Okay, you need hospital care, and I wish she had done that, but she died. Several days later. So that's the problem of where we're at in things, because people are not saying the reality of it, and And there are some that are starting to put that out there, but I know so many people don't watch the news anymore, and they just go, it's same thing, same thing, same thing. And I get that. That's why we try to get our show a little bit different each and every day. But I always want to say, hey guys, I know I'm watching the news. You watch just a little bit of it, then you'll understand what's going on. It's just like in 2020, right? There were a lot of people that were still like, yeah, it's not real. And I'm like, why are you still saying that? We just went through a year. Well, technically, it would be the second year from coronavirus 2020. Technically. And I've always been on the side of it's going to be a real thing because my sister had to suffer from it. And she's got it twice. So just because you get it once doesn't mean you're not going to get it again. That's the other problem. If you got alpha or beta, what's preventing from coming? And again, treat them all differently. It's not one size fits all. It's not like, oh, I'm getting stronger immunity from having alpha and beta, so now I'll be able to fit in my body and I'll be all right from it. The body doesn't work that way. The herd immunity that people were talking about in 2020, if you remember that, is almost a thing for other viruses, but not with 3 and or 4. All right, so you got to get that old stuff out of your head. You really do. For certain types of colds, yeah, I get that. For certain types of viruses, yeah, it exists. It's true. But for it's a very, 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 very odd virus out there. And so they're seeing the numbers coming in, and that's why China's in lockdown. That's why Europe, which I think if Europe was not in lockdown, some media outlets would not be as severe about it as they are about it. Because for some reason they feel like China's on an island of its own. Like we don't have the same problems as China does, even though we do. But when you see Europe have a problem, then people go, okay, we need to pay attention. That's the news as of yesterday that I saw, and I said, all right, at least you guys are paying attention. But again, that information has to get disseminated to government, and government needs to take that proactive step that they're not taking right now. And they're taking a very hands-off approach right now, which is not good for us and or the rest of the world. Because, again, you're like way in the last part of... I had a conversation with somebody who had a conversation with a friend from Australia, and they were saying that per capita of certain people, they felt that they were less than the U.S. And they are, technically. But they're actually ahead of us by like 3. Because at least they're not relaxing certain measures that they're relaxing here in the U.S. And in the U.S., it's almost like, hey, let's all go ahead and jump in the pool of fun. Yay! But then you don't realize somebody has diarrhea. And worst case scenario, they have, something that's going to last with you for days to come, hepatitis. And I throw those things that you go, oh God, right? Unless you don't know anything about hepatitis. It's bad. Okay, you don't want hepatitis, guaranteed. But that does happen in certain pools. And then you hope the chlorine actually fights it. But, oh, guess what? There was no chlorine. It actually was done 3 weeks ago, and we're at the end of it. Oh, God. There you go. So now you're upset, and now you're going, what did I do with that fun day? Oh, shoot, I'm going to regret it ever since, right? So that's kind of what you have to kind of learn about yourself and other things, because that's what's happening in our United States of America. Yeah, sad but true, sad but true. So if you know anybody in the administration of the Biden administration, can you just kind of pass a word on, say, hey, can you take care of the people again? Please, 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 appreciate that. Smart, don't you think? I mean, if you want money and economy for days, don't you want to take care of the people that actually pay into it? Seriously, people. All right. Well, anyway, so there you go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's see how Genia says, memo to you guys. Someone trying to hack into my Facebook page. I got someone on it right now. They have changed my name to Algenia Baez. Oh, no. I have sent to friends if anything bad sent to them. It's not me. Most hackers is an inside job. Yeah, I will say this. I got a message on Facebook from a individual, and it was one of those click here links. Don't click on those things. Just don't. That means they got hacked. She probably doesn't even know she's sending it. And if you get one of those, just reply to the person, say, did you know you were sending this out? Because accounts are getting hacked again. So that's the thing. All right. Let's see. Other than that, I think that's all the news I really have. Let me just go through some of the other news items I didn't get to. Again, fun stuff are still here. Just, be careful when doing it. All right. Russia's going to focus on baseless claims against the U.S. Got it. And new strikes hit Kiev, Lviv. Got it. All right. Well, I will say this. here's the news that I will say again, because I need people to understand this. If you have a Russian friend, love your Russian friend. All right, your Russian friend is not the reason they're at war. It's the government, right? And 9 times out of 10, probably like 99.99999, they don't even work for the government, right? They're not the one that said to Russia, hey, let's go bomb Ukraine. Because now it's getting kind of said in the way that people that were kind of not believing it in Russia are now believing it, because their friends and family members are calling them up and saying, no, it's a real thing, people. Because you cannot keep that in a world that's so connected under wraps for long. I don't know what Russia was thinking when they thought, oh, we could keep people from knowing the truth. You can't do that in this day and age anymore. You could do that in the 50s. You could even do it in the 60s, maybe even in the 70s. But there is no way to do that when you cut off Facebook and or social media. That's why I say, thank God we have social media, right? Thank God we have YouTube. Thank God we have people that, see these phones and see the images and see things from accounts of people that are not in the media, but just say, guys, this is happening. I live in this apartment. They're going to, bomb this apartment. These are things that are real. These are not fake. They're not imagined. Never before have we had a time where every phone had a little camera on it, right? And or video that you could send it across the country and around the world, right? Never before did we have this as a perspective. So thankfully, the people of Russia are saying, in essence, we do not agree with this. This is our family across the border. And a lot of them are family members, okay? We've already discussed how one of them, a son, was talking to his father who lived in Russia, and his father was completely like, no, they're saving Ukraine. They're not bombing it, because that was the story that was being sold to the people of Russia. Well, now there are people actually fleeing Russia that are Russian, and there are other Russians actually saying, I'm ashamed to be Russian. I'm so sorry. There's nothing to be sorry for if you're Russian, because just like anything, it's like, I'm Mexican, I'm Latino, I'm Scottish. We all have things in our history that we would be ashamed for, seriously, when you do the investigation of where your people originate around the world. But at the end of the day, I almost want to say this. We're all earthlings, right? This is why I like to, think about space. If we met another civilization on the outside, right? Let's say it was like past 3 light years away, right? And they were able to kind of come interdimensionally into our outer space and say, hey guys, are you guys loving and kind and amazing? Because we have certain technology to help you along. And boy, oh boy, we see that you guys are going to need food for days. We have certain technology that can actually replicate food in a really good way. We cannot wait to help you. And we would be like, well, yeah, about that. We're actually having a nuclear bomb situation down here. We don't advise you to come down here yet. We got to wipe each other out first. What do you think that would sell to the other beings of outer space? Like, anything good? Anything? Be like, no. Right. So there you go. People don't understand that sometimes when we, watch movies, we see the movies where they're always like, destructive aliens, right? But what if they're not destructive aliens? What if they're ones that are like highly advanced, highly technologically advanced, and we're kind of the cavemen of days? We never think about that. We always think we're ahead of things. And I say, yeah, the universe has been around a lot longer than you, depending on which universe you're talking about, right? And there are planets out there, So that's why I say, if anything, I get why we need angel support, because we're not supporting ourselves, right? But at the end of the day, we need to say, are we going to be all right with this mentality, with this thinking, with this ability to do each other in, right? I could tell you right now, there is no species out there or alien race out there that will say, hey guys, we're so happy you guys are destroying each other. Can we have your planet when you leave it? Right? Because if anything, they would want it intact, not like disintegrated with radiation and other problems known as nuclear bombs, right? Because that leaves fallout for days, years, and boy, oh boy, centuries to come, right? That's the problem with Chernobyl. Chernobyl is a situation which Russia's kind of dumb about, because radioactivity is still there. Yeah. I know people have gone and, taking pictures and shorts and little average wear, not realizing that they needed a spectrometer, I think is what it's called, or a radiation device to be able to say, hey, how much radiation is my body? Oh, look at that. That's a lot. Woo-hoo, I want to get out of there. Yeah, that would be the smart thing. But some people don't do that, and then they have problems for days later, right? So where did I get this horrible tumor from? Oh, that's right, when I went to Chernobyl. That's what's happening to the soldiers that are inhabiting Chernobyl. Yeah, really bad situation there. So they're doing that. They're bombing areas where innocents are at. They're bombing areas where there are kids at. They're bombing areas where there's pregnant mothers at. Again, that's a whole other. And I called it this before. I called it a genocide. All right, it's a genocide. And whatever you want to call it, it's bad. All right, but here's the thing. Don't blame the Russians for it. Blame the administration of Russia for it, right? They're the ones to blame at the end of the day. But there's even some soldiers that are like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know we were doing this. We thought it was a training exercise. Which you go, yeah, right, yeah, sure. But I think they've been so brainwashed in their heads. And I know some would be against me for saying that, but thank God I don't live in Russia. Otherwise, I'd be gone literally this afternoon because they're quick about that. But we live in a very nice area of the U.S. where you can actually have a voice and not get in prison the very next day and then never out, right? We live in an area where we are blessed more often than not, so we're able to say these things very freely. But I will say this. There's a day coming, and it's a day coming really quick that we're all going to have to face the music, and the music is this. We're at World War III, people. We're there. All right? I know people are dancing around it. I know people are saying, are we not? And I will say yes. When the UN says to Russia, we no longer back you up, that means the whole war is coming of the world. World War III. Period. End of story. So as we see that happening in the next few days, be aware that we need to stay honestly loving, that we need to stay checking in on one another, and that we need to say at the end of the day, hey, let's have fun. Let's be cautious about the virus, but let's also be watchful of people being violent and more upset and more angry and more hostile. And then at the same time, watch the air. Because you never know when a missile's going to come in. And you want to make sure, again, that you're safe throughout it all. Okay, once you do that, then you'll be fine. No need to stress out, but take necessary precautions. It's kind of like, okay, for example, recently the earthquake happened, a 7-pointer in Japan, yeah? And when it happened, there was a huge blackout. Okay, the blackout was really bad. And the blackout was so bad, a lot of people were all of a sudden without power. But I will say this, get yourself things to help you out. All right, I'm going to take a quick little watch. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to step away really quick. Just stay right there. I'm going to show you right now. All right. So I had this for you guys. I guess I don't need to put the headset on. But here it is. Okay, this I got just as a precautionary thing. And I think you're going to love it when you see it. It's known, and I got this off of Amazon. It's called a multi-purpose crank radio, okay? This is what the box looks like. And it's very easy to get on Amazon. I did my research, and I love this one, all right? So I got one for the vehicle. Actually, for a friend, but, we'll see how that goes. But this is the one I got for my mom, all right? So this is how it is on the device, okay? And it's really neat, okay? This device has so many different options. It's really cool. Number one, it has a solar panel. It has a flashlight, too. That's the opposite side, all right? But it has a solar panel, so you could charge it up in the sun. That's number one. Number two, it has a crank. Okay, and this crank You crank it, I think, for a minute or so. And you get power for not just this device. So you can have it for the radio, right? AM, FM. And then for certain alerts. I think I'm doing it wrong. Oh, I cranked it up a lot. Oh, there we go. You just crank it, right? So hand crank. So if you're at night and you have no power in this thing, which you do want lithium-ion batteries, at least, maybe 3 on the side just in case, because it charges up that. But you just crank it. It's very simple. And then you have power for that. All right, so that's worst case scenario if you have no solar, right? And it's got so many things on here. But the cool thing that I love about this is it has right here connections to your phone device. Yeah. So if you were in a situation where your phone was dying, you could crank it up. I think a minute gives you so many minutes of power, and just keep cranking it, or get it in solar mode and then put on your phone to put that, so it's ready to go. Isn't that cool? It's got another little thing. I don't know what that one is. Let's see. That is, for a different connection. I think that's USB-C. I'm not really sure. Might be right there. So regular and then other, yeah. And then if you need to see, it's got standard things that a radio normally has, but you just turn it on. It's gonna flag it on Facebook. And then it's got FM, AM, and WB. I'm not sure what that is, but I think that's for It's at 75%, so it's got the numbers right there. See that? I don't know if you can see that. So it's got a little light there, and then it's got a little light there. Whoa! Right? It's got 3 levels of that too. So it's got super bright, and awesome bright, right? And then you got your antenna there. But again, it's all really a great buy, and only for it might be on sale. I'm not really sure. I don't want to call that out just yet. But under $49, okay? That's what this is for. And I love this because it's everything and then some. And it has a little SOS. I'm not going to put that one on because it's like a blaring sound. Whoop, 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 if you were like in emergency status. But I love the fact that it has solar, all right? That right there, you just leave it in the sun all throughout the day, and you have a guaranteed emergency device that will help you with either the flashlight part of it or just charging your phone. And I think it's waterproof-ish, right? So, but if you just want to have fun, maybe at the drive-in, take this to the drive-in. The speakers are great. It's fantastic. But all this, very simple. The manufacturer is Puisoul. So Puisoul. But there it is. All right, and it's got everything there. Oh, it's got a motion sensor too. So if you had it in an area, the light will go on if it senses the motion. Although I think that would be pretty cool, if you had an army coming at you. Again, this is a really good device for any military person out there. It's good for your backpack. It's good for the vehicle if you were stuck, especially for those people that were on the East Coast stuck. Boy, right? But very handy, and they come in different colors. Somebody said they like the green one because it allowed them to see it very easily. But there you go. Very cool device, right? These type of devices, I say it's worth investing in, and it's worth getting as a gift for somebody that you care about, right? So let's care about each other, and let's keep each other alive, because there are so many things out there right now that are honestly kind of destroying us as a people. And I know I always mention coronavirus, but again, the reason I mention coronavirus is because it ties up our medical community, okay? What people forget about, because I know there are those saying, well, I know friends that died of diabetes, I know friends that died of heart attacks, I know those that died of other things that still are out there. I say, yeah, but coronavirus is the one that you can actually be ahead of if you stay safe and not tie up the hospital system with it, because that's the one that ties up the hospital system in a really bad way, so that we do have more deaths of other diseases, because you need more ICU beds because it is that severe. Then you need ventilator systems. You have something up in the air. I saw a report recently about, vents. I'm not sure what the story was about, but it was very interesting, when I saw it, because I've been saying that for days. I said, if you share a room or a house that has a ventilation system that has in the same room a ventilation system, well, basically you're breathing in what the rest of the house is breathing in, unless you have it sectioned off, which a lot of places don't. That's how people get sick of it, or sick with it, I should say. So there are a lot of things you got to be careful of, but at the end of the day, be like this radio, right? Be, in a way, well, there's so many things on this. You got the information for days, also known as a radio. You can have music, you have talk radio, you have us, right? 1490 AM, look it up, or 98.1 FM if you're in our listening audience. And or just power up your phone device, right? How cool is that? So you have these two devices together, you have everything, right? More often than not. But be like this radio, okay? It's multi-purposeful. It doesn't just have one function. It has multi-purposes, right? It's got a blaring siren. I'm not going to turn that one on. That one's going to hurt your ears. It's got the flashlight. It's got the solar. Be the solar for your friends, Sometimes you need to power them up. Sometimes you need them to feel good. Sometimes you need them to feel, like that little surge of whatever you want to call it. I would call it that surge of awesome, that surge of positivity, that surge of, I need to feel good. All right, well, let me help you out. All right? Be the solar that they need. Give them that energy. Give them that positivity. Give them that perspective called the information, right? Be that AM portion of it. Then have the fun part of FM, right? And be the light to them. Sometimes we all need a little light. Sometimes we need dim light. Sometimes we need a lot of light. Sometimes we need all light, right? Be the light for they and their family and their loved ones. Be that, especially in the days ahead, because a lot of people are needing that around the world. There's a lot of people in Ukraine. There's a lot of people around the world in other areas that are war-torn. There are areas where people are feeling it in a really bad way with their own backyard. L.A. and Orange County and Riverside, San Bernardino have had some major crimes. If you're going to be a friend that brings a bit of comfort into their world for however long that we have on this earth. Be that for each and everyone, all right? Because people are going through things that we have no idea about, and we need to be very mindful of it. So be that for everyone. And again, if you want to get this, it's a really nice device. Again, 3 power ways. It's right there. But I love it for the USB. All right, isn't that neat? Let's see if you can see that. Let's see. There you go. See, it's got the USB charge. Boom, boom, boom. I love this and this together. This right here is the reason to get this, right? Charge your phone device, right? That's your life-saving device, right? So there you go. All right, people, I appreciate each and every one of you. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.